Act 1. On both sides of the stage are stairs covered in myrtle branches, like mountain trails to the top of the set. Down one of these come Estella and Lisarda, dressed for the hunt with short spears. Thunder and stormy winds accompany their descent.
Way, my brave Estella. This path will see us down from the remote mountain. This proud giant who challenges the stars to the valley below, till the heavens turn merciful and temper their harsh blows, unfurrowing their knitted brows. Follow me, cousin.
They slowly descend as they speak.
Which way? I am frozen through! Ugh! Cursed be my ambition 1,000 times over, and that fleeing deer who dashed my hopes, wounded my pride, and evaded my fateful blow. Though its swift flight encouraged my pursuit, I now quake in its footsteps. Oh, heavens! See how the crystal spheres jolt the planets from their orbits, how the turbulent heavens, full of terror and wonder, stage phaetons fall anew. See how, as their axes shudder, all balance is undone. See how the elements, angry and disordered, hail down upon us, amid deafening thunder and icy air. See how Aeolus, god of the winds, angrily releases them from their stout prisons, so that once free they might make the earth tremble, sending prodigious tremors through its very womb. See heaven's blue pavilions, all dressed in mourning, while the dark and pregnant clouds who delivered this violence now abort lightning bolts. All is surging fear, all is duress and hardship, all is fright and affliction, all is pain and wonder. Oh, the dark clouds extend beyond the furthest horizon. What shall we do?
Don't worry.
Fear has turned me to stone, Lisarda, for me to take to the woods like this.
We'll find refuge together from the inclement weather. Come under these oaks, Estella, till heaven comes to our aid. See? The sun is finally breaking through those clouds in the west.
They move to one side of the stage. Enter the bandits, Stibardo and Rufino.
Bandits we are, by God! We hardly deserve the name. Misfortune or idleness has turned every last one of us into maidens at their needlework. Just look at us lying about. The warlike discipline of Mars himself. A proud sight indeed.
Spare me! We're short on chances, not on courage.
Well, seek them out then.
By God, if I'm not mistaken, Fortune has just delivered a fine chance into our hands.
May heaven let us enjoy it.
Two fine-looking women talking to each other. Can't you hear them?
Let's approach them nicely.
Lisarda, do you see those 3 men over there?
Yes, they're headed our way.
Oh, thank heavens. Gentlemen, is it far from here to the house of Enrique, Count of Belfort?
It is very close.
Could you tell us how to get there?
Come with us.
Your courtesy is the lodestar that guides us on our way.
Before long, there will be fear and trembling to wreck your calm instead.
The bandits lead the ladies off stage, while Don Juan de Cordova, very elegant in his traveling clothes, descends along.
I am so angry that you had to meet those damsels in distress and bumbling bandits before me, but I had to step in before Juan gets here. Don't get too attached to the bandits. Those actors play far more important characters later. Allow me to properly introduce myself. I am Rivette of Seville, and I will be your guide for the evening. Did you catch that? Well, that's okay. It wasn't very important. There's a storm. These 2 ladies are lost. That's pretty much it. This whole thing is a Zoom reading of a Spanish Golden Age play, written by Ana Caro and translated by a group at UCLA. I might get a little long and confusing at points, but just hang in there. I'll help guide you through the story and build the world around these Zoom actors and give you my personal thoughts, since we can't be in a physical space with people to see this story in its full glory due to obvious reasons. I'm a character in this play, but I'm also the playwright, and I'm also you. You'll get the hang of it. Just hold on tight. We will now be returning to your regularly scheduled programming.
Descends along the path opposite the one the women took.
Confusion everywhere. An earthquake so sudden, a storm so immense. I've lost my way, it seems. Will I be fortunate enough to find a guide? These mountains are so solitary. Tie the mules to a tree, Tamillo, and come down to this meadow while they graze.
What meadow? Tigers, rhinoceros, crocodiles, alligators, the Cyclops, Polyphemus, damned souls and devils, God spare me, will come for you there.
What are you going on about, you fool?
I say you must pay for the sacrilege you committed in abandoning such an angel.
Has anyone ever heard such foolishness?
How can anything go well for us when you...
Don't make me angry. Enough of your nonsense.
Oh, that's good. So now the truth is nonsense.
Listen. I hear muffled voices.
Perhaps it's a satyr or a faun.
Oh, this part is so fun. Oh, wait, it's not gonna be because of... It would be way more fun with puppets.
Enter the bandits with the ladies. In order to tie their hands, they put down their pistols and cloaks. Juan remains to the side.
With your permission or without it.
What is it you want, you barbarian?
Nothing. Don't get upset or it will go worse.
They must have just come down from the mountains.
Listen to them.
What should I listen to? Is this some new passing skit full of enchantments and adventures in the woods, where I play Sancho, you Don Quixote, and we go looking for the end, the wenches, and the beatings?
It is indeed a pretty pass, and one that requires me to measure my pride against their daring.
Don't rush in, my lord.
Take their jewels now.
Take them, you traitors, and leave us be! Ay, Lizarda!
Do you not see, Tamillo? These two suns so wrongfully eclipsed? Do you not see their glow diminished and so barbarously overshadowed?
Come back down to earth. These are highwaymen, and if they discover us, they'll have us for dinner. They'll make mincemeat of us before we can even say confession.
I must show who I am.
Kill us, oh ungrateful men!
That's not what we're after, my queen.
How can the heavens withhold their mercy now?
Juan jumps in front of them with his sword drawn, upsetting the bandits. Meanwhile, Emil takes the coats and guns and heads for the forest.
Well, what is it you want? To taste the wrath of my arm and my sword?
Oh, who could resist him?
You low cowards!
Though I'm quaking with fear, I've got their weapons here, which will at least make things a little less dangerous.
Fire, Rufino!
Oh, where are the pistols?
Oh, pickles maybe! Bang, bang!
There's no time to lose!
Juan Rufino, this one's a demon, not a man.
Run, Tibaldo!
Bandits exit with Juan in pursuit.
I swear my master is giving them a run for their money. No beating around the bush. He beats them into the bushes. Jesus, what a chase!
Ay, Lizarda!
Dear Stella, take heart. The heavens are looking out for us now.
Enter Don Fernando de Rivera.
Where can they be? What enchanted forest or labyrinth conceals them? But wait, what is this?
Ay, Don Fernando! Oh, we've been at fortune's mercy.
What happened? How?
Horrible bandits captured us.
Could there be any greater misfortune?
He unties them.
But a noble gentleman saved us.
Enter Juan.
Now they'll get their just desserts. Those barbarians who dare defy your heavenly beauty so rudely and fail to honor your fair hands.
Fernando takes out his sword.
Die!
Wait, Fernando, and do not prove ungrateful. This is the man to whom we owe our life and our honor.
Let me kneel at your feet and excuse my ignorance.
And what should I do? Sit here twiddling my thumbs while these witnesses, for and against, fail to declare just how bold I was?
I will reward you.
Fernando gives Tomio a bag of coin.
Off you go, you fool. Now your valor is repaid.
Tell me me your name and origin, if you will, unless there's reason not to. Let me know to whom I owe so much. I am obliged to serve you, and it will be my pleasure to do so.
I ask the same of you. And if by chance I may be of any help at the court in Brussels, I am at your service. Not only because in the name of the Countess, whom I serve, but because it is my nature. Come with me, and whatever you wish, I will happily provide.
May you live longer than 1,000 Methuselahs. What a good lad!
We are all the more in your debt, and so must beg of you to tell us who you are.
It would be my pleasure.
What a gallant, what a gentleman.
I was born in that city, celebrated for its antiquity as mother of all wits, origin of letters, splendor of scholarship, epitome of courage, and center of nobility. It was the happy birthplace of Seneca and Lucan. One a Stoic philosopher, and the other a celebrated poet. Oh, and another Seneca.
Oh God, he's going to keep speaking. We get it. You're from Cordoba. And all those people you're talking about are great, famous people from Cordoba. Cordoba is great. Blah, blah, blah. Oh.
Was born in Cordoba, monument to Roman pride, adorned by the Batis, that river whose overflowing waters kiss its ramparts in homage to the ancient glory of its founder, the Roman Marcellus. I inherited the noble blood of the Cordobas, a name that embodies all of the excellence of Spain. I spent my tender youth at the court in Madrid in search of favor, which never ends well. I was driven away by envy, that many-headed hydra that refuses to die and sent into exile over certain encounters. Mere trysts, in effect. I was favored, but not enough to save me from misplaced loved. And so I returned home, very much against my will. I was used to greater things. It's not easy to get over a fall from favor, you know. And so, to distract myself, I set out for Seville. There, my kin received me with open arms, and I found comfort in their noble house. I amused myself as best I could in that magnificent city. Its palace, its orchids, its river, its market, its promenades, its cathedral, an eighth wonder of the world, most famous and most beautiful. And so,
Don Fernando de Rivera here, my friend.
What news, my prince?
I'm here with Fisberto and Lucindo and also Duke Liceno. We were charged with looking everywhere for Lasarda and Estella and told not to return without them. Since they are here with you now and have found refuge from the weather, let them not delay in their return. In that sheltered valley, a chariot awaits with an escort of gentlemen and servants.
Let us go, then. But make sure that the gentleman comes with us.
I see how it is.
He never finished his story.
Countess, the prince will lead you onto the chariot, and we will follow in an instant.
I hate to go, Lisarda, without hearing the end of the story.
You will hear it in good time.
My friend, a mysterious force draws me to you, some natural inclination or sympathetic star. Come with me to Brussels.
I would be honored.
While they walk ahead and we follow at our leisure, why don't you finish your story? I beg of you, tell me, what brings you to Flanders?
What luck that the prince came for Estella just then. My soul has surrendered to her beauty, and I would hardly want her to hear the rest of my story. As I was saying, Fernando, while I was seeking solace in Seville, I saw a woman in church one Tuesday in May, the day of the cross, which I now carry with me on my back. Her great beauty was the talk of the town. I will not describe her, for It would only add weight to my chains. Even if I hated her, to call her an angel would not overstate her charms. To see her was to love her. I found out her house, her family, her state and condition, and satisfied with it all, swayed her from her virtue, pressed her to her indiscretions, and plied her with promises. She looked kindly upon me, and a go-between was found to help me enjoy her favors, if indeed there is such joy in such trespasses. I promised to take her as my wife. I need not say more. You can infer the rest. I was blinded. She was so tender, so beautiful, so clever, open to pleasures besides, taking displeasures in stride. And yet her fate, her unlucky star, undid any obligations incurred. Justified though they might have been, I followed my path, if not of my fate, then of my inconstant stars. Weary and full of regret, somewhat indecorously, without a word or a goodbye, I soon left for Lipson, annoyed at those changeable stars that now made me despise her. After traveling through France and England, I finally arrived in this land, at the court of Brussels, where my soul feels at home, recalling the glories of Madrid. It's too bad this truce for Holland keeps me from turning to arms to distract myself from all this. And yet, since I have your favor now, could you put in a word on my behalf so that I might occupy myself at court until my funds make their way to Flanders? I am Don Juan de Cordoba, from Andalusia. You, a Ribera, and my noble countrymen. Now that we've met like this, we must stick together to show the courage of Spanish noblemen, the valor of Andalusia. This is my story. Now you share my birthplace, and also my nobility. Honor me, as this is your duty.
It is my honor to meet you, Don Juan, and I only wish my means could match my devotion. I am drawn to your great courage by some mysterious force. I'll see that Her Highness here in Brussels honors Estella's obligations to you and what all of us owe you. Meanwhile, my house and all that I own are at your disposal. Let us go together to the princess. She will reward you, and so my obligations will be satisfied.
By God, how can I ever thank you for such favors?
Come. My lord, the mules await.
And the carriage?
Maybe it's chasing Apollo's chariot through the skies. Either way, it hasn't made its way through the forest.
Quick check-in. Everyone following along? I think that's almost everyone in the play. Juan is important, remember him. And he's just arrived at the court in Brussels. He saved the Countess Estella, and now she is indebted to him. There's only one person left to meet. Enter the star of tonight's show. Enter Leonor, dressed gallantly as a man, and Ribete, her servant.
This attire will enable me to recover my lost honor.
What a dashing figure, what a well-turned leg. What a shapely foot. For a noble woman of such tender years, you have shown great daring.
When passion rules, lovers lose all sense. But I am not one led by love. Spurred by the wrongs done to me, I instead follow reason. Amid the blows of my unyielding faith, when my faculties were overcome, all for that one moment of weakness, I discovered that Ingrid, the one who repaid my love with disregard, my faith with cruelty, was on his way to Flanders. And so I announced I would enter a monastery to keep my family from looking for me. No one would come see me, no one except my sister, and she knows the truth. In fact, she'll pretend to visit me to maintain the ruse. It may be a mad plan, but at least no one will know the truth. I have made up my mind, and bravely cross the sea to accomplish my purpose or to die in the attempt. By heavens above, I will be a new Amazon, a courageous Camilla, and avenge myself on this treacherous liar.
Listen to you, by God! I do believe your new attire has given you a new spirit.
I am who I am, Ribete. You are mistaken. If you think I'm a woman, the wrong done to me changed me.
Wrongs can lead to strange metamorphoses. You did more than Ovid's Iphis by transforming yourself into a man. You were your own goddess. Anyway, back to our purpose here. Will you kill him then?
I will kill him. Vive Dios.
Seriously?
Swear on God's name.
Still swearing. Shame on you.
You're wasting your breath.
Well, you know your typical Don Juan is always on the move like some sort of new Magellan.
Be quiet, fool.
Oh, please. Must I play the coward? Couldn't I be the brave servant?
Is that what's bothering you?
Why must servants always be hungry cowards and play the fool? Can't a man be born daring even if he's not born noble? What? Couldn't the servant be twice as brave as his master?
Well said. There's a reason I chose you as my friend and not my servant.
Ribete of Seville is at your side, so fierce that he thought nothing of taking on two at once, planting his bloody flag amid the green banners of war. But, on to the living. What will you do now?
Ribete, we must find my brother or everything will be lost.
And, what if he recognizes you?
Impossible. I was only 6 years old when he left. He won't remember my face, and as long as he takes me in, my courage will avenge my wrongs.
So, now you're Don Leonardo, some newfangled Ponce de Leon? Oh, master, how the women will be pestering me with their love letters to you. Just like in a play where the servant must be the go-between and take care of everything. Is there no plot, no scene where a servant with good taste won't come in handy? Is there nothing more delicious than when a fool yokes together the stables and the court, or makes a fierce thundering king laugh at his wild antics?
There are people coming. Come this way.
And that is what I wanted to tell you.
I am amazed.
Don Juan de Cordoba's brave courage is even more worthy of admiration than his luck, although he certainly is fortunate. The Infanta favors him for his bravery. Indeed, he is now her steward.
Ribete.
He well deserves it. And tell me, does Estella now favor Don Juan?
I believe so. And her gratitude affords him that rare satisfaction.
Juan de Cordoba? Ay, Dios. That's what he said? Could it be that ingrate here today? I can hardly disguise my dismays.
But I will speak to her on your behalf.
Can Estella aspire to anything more? Her wealth, her beauty, who better to bestow it upon than me?
Well said.
Is there in all of Flanders a man more handsome, more gentlemanly?
I'll be damned.
Leave this matter to me.
Agreed. Just make sure, as you are my friend, that this all comes to a good end.
What a nuisance.
Ribete, I want to approach him and ask about my brother.
Will he know him?
Of course.
May I help you with something, gentlemen?
No, sir. I would just like to inquire about a captain.
The captain. What's his name?
These will say Don Fernando de Rivera, master of the horse and captain of the guard for Her Highness.
Oh, dashing. Could those be from Leonor? I stand here before you. Give me those letters.
Oh, what luck!
Are they from my sister?
You will recognize her hand. Ribete, I'm so nervous.
Why?
At seeing my brother?
Is this the famous courage of Seville?
Well said. I must find my courage today for the sake of my honor if I am to restore its luster. For without honor, even gold is vile.
I've read this letter, Don Leonardo, and it simply asks that I favor you. Your presence alone would have sufficed, yet my sister requested, and obliged to her, I will honor her wishes, for your sake, for hers, and for mine. How is she?
She misses you, of course.
Is she very beautiful?
She's kind and virtuous.
That's all that matters. My baby sister, Laurentia.
She's precious. A little flower, an angel in human form.
Tell me, by my life, what brings you to Flanders?
I can barely bring myself to speak, overwhelmed as I am by your courtesy. Though it's true that my gratitude would seem to require an answer.
Oh, you're too kind.
Oh, worthy scion of the Riberas. To respond to your generous concern, I will tell you of my harsh fortunes only now turned kind in bringing me to you. I will need not tell you of my distinguished line. The mark of its nobility is my pride in being related to you. I served a lady whom the heavens graced with all beauty. My soul secretly enjoyed her favors, finding glory in our sleepless nights. Though I faced a powerful rival, I was hardly worried. Don't be surprised. My Arnarda is as faithful as she is beautiful. The Marquis Ricardo made bold to show everyone he served my lady, but I am not one to lose my courage. Instead, I added fuel to his jealous flame. Rich and handsome, he became willing to risk his reputation. Presuming in vain and with little intact, he caused such jealousy and strife. He lost his good name once intact. One night among many, I found him at Narda's door. His vain hopes withering as they bloomed. His presence set my sword on fire, so that on my own I pushed not just him, but 2 others off her street. He pretended nothing had happened, but one day, when we were playing tennis and deciding who'd serve first, he shouted in a sudden rage, "You pack of liars, a lot of you!" And at that, I lost my head. One of my hands found his face while the other beat back a furious attack. That was it for the game. On each side, all broke out into civil war, while I landed outsized blows and made my rivals kiss the dirt. One attempt to make peace, while another furiously closes in the end. Between the avenged and the insulted, 1 man lay dead and 3 wounded. Ricardo, scorned by my lady so many times and jealous, if not of me, then of my fortune, wastes no time in seeking his revenge. Offended, he rallies friends and relatives, making a grand show of his injury, as only such a coward would. Let us just say his fierce rage gave way to violence, so that the best remedy seemed to be put ground between us, and absent myself from my dear homeland. In fact, I had to leave in a haste, for he could seek his revenge at leisure, and it never would be treachery, since I had injured him first. My uncle prepared me for my journey. Before I embarked, he gave to me this ring, a rich remembrance of Vittoria, his beautiful and noble daughter. I traversed the cerulean expanses of Amphitrite's briny deep, unencumbered by storms, and with this fair wind at my back, I hope now land at your feet.
I was so pleased to see you, and now your story has amazed me. Don't worry about our homeland, for you will find in my breast the loyalty of a relative, the kindness of a friend, the love of a brother. Indeed, I could not care for Leonor more than I do for you. I had given this ring to my lovely cousin Vittoria. May God keep her in his glory. Just before I left Spain. Although it lends you credence, the truth is you do not need such proof with me. In fact, I welcome the occasion of your unfortunate quarrel, for it has brought you to me.
There's a reason your good name is renowned the world over.
Don Leonardo, you are my brother.
What courtesy. He's a Rivera. I see the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
We'll put you up with Don Juan de Cordova.
Who is that?
Who? A fine gentleman from Cordova.
It would neither be fitting nor indeed courteous if my own comfort came at this noble man's expense.
Oh, Don Juan has a separate room. Her Highness honors him for his great valor.
What's this I hear? Is he a person of refinement?
He certainly cuts a fine figure and is affable enough. Although inconstant, it must be said, a lady from Seville he misled, seduced, and then abandoned. Now he adores Estella, Countess of Sora. She is very beautiful, but in my opinion, nothing can excuse such a fickle change of heart.
Take courage, my highest hopes. It's not always the man's fault.
Yet he has often spoken of Leonor's 1,000 good qualities.
Yet he hates her now?
Love makes even the eagle-eyed blind. When the Countess is around, he can't see straight.
Cruel. And does she return his feelings?
She is grateful to him, friendly and courteous. She could do no less given his brave action on her behalf. You'll hear from it soon enough. Fineo!
Right, yeah, we didn't have enough actors, and Fineo as a character serves no purpose. You can only see him this once, so I'll just jump in and do it for you. The servant always saving the day.
Yes, sir.
Prepare Don Leonardo's room for him at once.
He's killing me.
Oh, hush, Leonor.
Put him in Don Juan's quarters.
Straight away, sir.
Come, Leonardo.
I will be right in.
I will await you in Her Highness's room.
And there goes the show. Is anybody listening? Hello? Hey? If he has embarked on a new romance, maybe it's time for us to do the same and head for home. Here comes the lightning, the torrents, the tempest, the trials, the vipers, the basilisks, the torrents pouring from her eyes. If the first time she is tested, we get sleepless nights and raptures, furies, rages, jealousies, then what will come next? I imagine she's thinking now of what havoc she can wreak like a true Amazon. Hello, my lady, with whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Leave me be, you fool.
Leonor, cuffs, rivete, Beelzebub! What else can I call you when you're giving the devil a run for his money? Who do you take me for, Don Juan? That was quite the wallop.
Go away, leave me be. ¿A dónde, cielos? ¿A dónde vuestros rigores se encubren? ¿Para cuándo es el castigo? ¿La justicia? ¿A dónde huye? ¿Dónde está? ¿Cómo es posible que esta maldad disimule? La piedad de una leve, injusta pasión arguye. ¿Dónde están, Jove, los rayos? ¿Ya vive ocioso e inútil tu brazo? ¿Cómo traiciones bárbara y enorme sufre? Némesis, ¿dónde te ocultas? ¿A qué Dios se le sustituye a tu poder para grato mi venganza no ejecute? Las desdichas, los agravios, hace la suerte común. No importa mérito, no tiene precio la voluntad. cómo tanta verdad se desluce, tanto afecto se malogra, tanta calidad se destruye, tanta sangre se deshonra, tanto honor se consume y apura. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Desdicha? Tal maldad los cielos sufren. Mi nobleza despreciada, mi casta opinión sin lustre, sin premio mi voluntad. Mi fe que a las altas nubes llegó y llegó a las estrellas. ¿Será posible que la injurie don Juan? Venganza, venganza, cielo. El mundo murmure que ha de ver en mi valor, a pesar de las comunes opiniones, la más nueva historia. La más lustre resolución que ha de vio en el orbe. Y juro por los azules velos del cielo, o por aquellos que miran luces en ellos, que he de morir o vencer sin que me den pesadumbre, iras, olvido, ingratitudes, desdenes, desprecio, aborrecimiento, odios. Mi honor en la altiva cumbre del cielo he de ver. O que se disculpen en mis locuras, mi hierro. O que en ellas apuren sus excesos. Con errores cuantos sean. Valor, agravio y mujer. Sin algún sujeto se incluye.
And that's Act 1, ladies and gents. Are you following along? I know it can get a little confusing, so let's review the key plot points. Juan is a douche. He was in love with Leonor, but then he abandoned her. She has now followed him from Spain to Brussels. She found her brother Fernando, and he didn't recognize her, and somehow didn't connect her to the woman that Juan was talking about. Now Leonor can finally get her revenge against Juan. Heads up, there's a brief time jump between these two acts, about 6 months, so I'll try and do a little recap of what we think our band of characters has been up to.